Would you want a clone of yourself out in the world?
So why not grow only what you want directly from the right types of cells?
Life is winning.
Welcome to the edge of nowhere, where we delve into the black hole of our reality.
Today we're going to be talking around cloning, rights for cloning, and the rights for you potentially as a clone. Now, you may have seen in that incredible series Rick and Morty that was started and shot in 2013, Rick the crazy scientist has a number of different clones and a number of different vats in his basement, in his lab. That's what we're going to be talking about today. What does it mean when we can have clones and when we can't have clones, and what does it mean for the rights inferred for them? Now, traditionally, when we think of clones, perhaps the most famous example is Dolly the sheep, where they took Dolly and they managed to replicate her through taking her embryos and creating mini versions of herself.
Cloning is the process of generating a genetically identical copy of a cell or an organism. Cloning happens all the time in nature. In biomedical research, cloning is broadly defined to mean the duplication of any kind of biological material for scientific study, such as a piece of DNA or an individual cell.
Something a lot more controversial: cloning a human.
Already cloned a sheep. Researchers are telling us the next step could be to clone human beings to create individual, designer stem cells, essentially to grow another you.
Therefore, today I am issuing a directive that bans the use of any federal funds for any cloning of human beings.
Essentially, what we're talking about is the rights involved in this and the rights for those clones. Now, think about that for a second. If you're able to make an exact clone, an exact replica of yourself, surely that means that the clone has the rights inferred upon you.
If I am your clone, do I have your rights? Do I have my own life or just yours? How much will we share? How different will we grow up? Will I have your memories or none at all? Or will we simply just share genetic code?
Because if you take an original version of you, so if you take myself, Craig, and you replicate it into another one, surely if you make an exact copy, all the rights inferred of the original get conferred onto the clone itself. Therefore, the question is, as we see today, when you can start making clones of yourself for organ replication and organ failure, surely the clone has the right to say, I don't want my organs to be used in the other version. The question around rights becomes very, very problematic, because not only is it a question around the rights inferred around the original and the copy, but also the ability for each one of these versions to create their own life and their own decisions. Again, going back to Rick and Morty, there was one episode around the Me-6s where they keep on creating versions of themselves.
What did I just? Oh, I'm Mr. Me-6, look at me!
The other part about cloning is not just about cloning in the now and today, but it's also about future. If scientists today already say, well, we can clone you out of skin cells and hair follicles, the possibility also holds true that you can clone me after my physical death, because the DNA, the instruction manual of who you are, sits somewhere else. The question then, again, around rights and privacy then holds true. Who has the rights of that individual? When you die today, the original version, or the version that comes 10 years, 20, 30, maybe even 100 years later, do the same rights confer? Do you then say, well, it's the same individual, there was just a break of 100 years between the first version, the original version, and the second version? Because that time span may be different, but essentially if it's exact carbon copy, it's the right person, it's the same person again, even though there's not two versions, there's only one, separated by time and space.
In the future you could live many lives and never know. You could have a different set of morals and ethics but still be the same. In this life now we are one, but the different entities of you is endless.
Thanks for joining me. Today we spoke around clones, the right to clone, and the rights for you as potentially a clone. So please do join me in our next episode as we journey to the edge of nowhere.
Goodbye, I will see you online.